Oh, hello, hello, hello. 1 second, make sure my sound is good, post my link and everything. Get everything set up here. Alright. How's everyone doing today? Self, I'm pretty tired. Stayed up last night a little bit longer than I wanted to. I'm gonna try and start doing these live streams a little bit more often, so hopefully, maybe I'll start getting some kind of schedule on, but really it's just gonna be random for the most part. This is an open panel, an open topic. Anybody is welcome to hop up. Link should be pinned in the comments. Alright, sorry about that. I changed a couple things. The link to join the stream is now in the description rather than being the pinned comment. The pinned comment is a link to a really good channel out there. You guys have heard me talk about Always Survive, and he also has a shorts channel, and he's almost to 1,000 subs. So I'm going to leave that as the pinned comment. Guys, please go subscribe to him, help push him over that 1K goal. And yeah, let's get it going there. Still, let's see, what else did I do? Banners, set my banner up. That, more, layout. Get my layout correct here. I believe that's the one I want. I'm gonna have to wait and see until somebody else hops on. Alright, I'm gonna be, I wish I could have some music to play or something, but I gotta go do a couple things. I'm gonna wait for some people to show up. I'll be back in a minute here. Still trying to keep my eyes on the comments though. Alright. It's been a slow morning, guys. Have not gotten anything done. I did post a video though, so I guess that's good. Go check it out. Need to do more of that kind of thing. Get more content up on my channel. And guys, here's the deal. With that link to go subscribe to that Always Survive Shorts channel, there is some incentives to do that for a couple of you guys. And the rule for this stream is you cannot come up on panel with me unless you go subscribe to that channel. Let's push him over that 1,000 mark. Have some rules for this stream. Open panel with the twist. Also, if you guys are not subscribed to Rescue over there, he's doing a stream right now. Got a lot of people up on panel, a lot of people up in chat. He's a great guy to go subscribe to. I just subscribed with my 4 accounts. Oh, damn. Did you push him over? I think he was at 997 last time I looked. You might have just pushed him over. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I know he will too. He's at work right now. He might be lurking in the chat. I don't know, but I know he's at work right now. He might not be able to answer, but that's awesome, man. Thank you so much. I only have 1 account, but I subbed. That's awesome. I believe that means he's over 1,000 now. That's really cool. I need to go make both of you mods as well. I'll be right back. Don't know if I messed this. I might have messed the stream. Oh, no, I'm good. Apparently, I already made you both mods. I was not aware of that. I don't know. I don't stream enough. I don't know all this stuff yet. Either way, I'm glad I did. I'm already mod. Yeah. My mistake. But yeah, I just looked. He's over 1,000 now. That's awesome. Just started the stream and he's already there. I don't know if I should. No, I'll keep the link up. I should change the comment though. I can't keep leaving the stream. I'm gonna kick myself off. Do something I don't want to do. I really do need to get another device so I can run my stream and look at chat and everything at the same time. It's so difficult to do everything off of a phone. I would have hopped up on Rescue stream with all of you, but I get on panels with that many people and I just don't even end up talking. I lose my voice with that many people around. I don't want to interrupt anybody, so I just end up staying quiet in the corner. You guys were talking about a lot of good stuff, though. I like that bug out. He's not. I don't see him in too many streams besides Rescue, but from what I hear from him, I like him. Carl, what are you doing, man? You should hop up on here. Got to entertain the stream somehow. I can't do it alone. And I hope if I start streaming more, I'm gonna get more of a regular audience. I just can't compete like Rescue. He's got like 50 people over there. I can't even remotely compete with that. And that's not to say anything bad about Rescue. I'm glad he's streaming. His streams are awesome. He's got a lot of good people on there, a lot of good conversations. I could never do it like he does. Like 8 hours a day. That's nuts. I would go crazy. Never say never. Never say never unless you know it's never. I really couldn't. There's no way. I could not do it 8 hours a day. That is nuts. That is absolutely crazy. No, he's got so much more patience, so much more energy with this stuff than I would have. And usually it's not bad over there, but over the course of 8 hours, he'll deal with a lot of bullshit. I would lose patience with that so quick. Absolutely not. And I don't have enough to talk about, man. I start getting over like an hour and I'm like, all right, well, what can I talk about now? I have no idea. He's lucky, man. He always has people up on panel who can talk for him. And gets a lot of ideas from people. There's a great community over there. All of these channels around us are great communities, man. Everybody always supports each other. Everybody always has something good to say. Yeah, I don't know how he does it. I'm going to start trying to stream more regularly, though. See how it goes. It's become a great network. It really has. And I got here late, but I've still gotten to see it grow. There's been people that have been around a lot longer than I have. I can't imagine how they feel about it, considering all that they've seen. I know there's been a lot of people that got to see Rescue before he even started streaming. And they've gotten to see him grow from the point of nothing to where he is now. That's nuts to me. Like, I got to see him a couple months ago before he was even at I want to say he was less than 150 subs when I found him. Which now you don't really know how many subs he's got because he's hiding it. But either way, you can just tell he's growing so much. And even from where I found him, he's just so much further now. Which I know to him that doesn't really matter. He's not in it for the subs or the viewer count or the money or whatever. He just likes to be able to get on and talk to people and help people out with their day, which is very noble, very good thing. But it's so cool to see. It's cool to see how everyone's channel has grown. It was really cool to see what happened with your channel when you went live. 90 subs over that. Always survive. Yeah. What's going on, man? Just got you to 1K. Yes, sir. I'm gonna start making money now. You know the deal, though. I'm the one that got you to that 1,000 subs. So when you become a millionaire, I deserve like a 3% cut. Bullet money? Hey, yeah. Bullets and food. Bullets and food. You're gonna give me 10%? Oh, fuck. Hey, I'm not sure you're very wise with your money, man. I offered 3% and you upped me with 10%. That's not a very good business strategy. Both channels. I think you need to rethink your strategy there. All goes the same. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. We just need more. Need more. Need to stock up more. Oh, it's so not looking good though. Doesn't look like we got much time. Everybody's saying it now. It was just a couple people. Now everybody's saying it. Before too long, it's gonna be happening. And I can't even get into it that much on this channel because I don't want to get any hits on it. Oh, I need to start doing live streams on my other channel. Very short on time. At least that's what it feels like. Oh, I definitely need to start doing lives on my other channel where I can actually talk as much shit about this as I want. Get into it more. It is cool to see more people taking action, though. I mean, they're taking action later than they should be, but at least they're doing something before it's actually too late. I was talking to Carl yesterday about doing like a Michigan meetup thing. There's more people than I thought around here. We should do it. He named off more names than I can, but that'd be cool to get a lot of people together. It'd be awesome if we could fucking set it up to do it at the same time that the people are doing it. I believe in Missouri. Might be wrong about that, but do all the meetups at the same time. Everybody just posts a ton of videos. Overflood YouTube with all of our content. Although you've already been doing a pretty good job of that on your shorts channel. Posting up a lot of content over there. Wish that Bug Out Bushido was closer up here. That'd be cool. I'd like to train with him sometime. Sounds like he knows a lot of shit. But of course, like everyone else, he's down in Florida. Oh, hell yes, we need to train more. not in any way training enough. I've been trying to do some kind of physical exercise every day. I've been trying to eat better too. I was doing really fucking good, and then like the last like week or two, I fell back off. Fuck. Oh shit! I just remembered. I gotta go change the settings for this live stream real quick. Ooh, sorry about that. I had to go and make sure that my setting was set correctly. I had to specify that this was not made for children to watch, so I don't get striked for that. Carl, are you still in here? Can you come up on panel? Monty's probably still over on Rusty's stream. I was gonna wait until he ended, but it was getting kind of late. I wanted to make sure I could get something up. Might be able to see if Donkey wants to come up. I'm not sure. Somebody needs somebody more entertaining than I am. I think I need to do a video on my medical bag. Just worried there's not enough stuff in it. I haven't even gone through it in a while. Maybe I'll do that. I'm listening. Alright, man. That's all good. I appreciate you listening. Oh, maybe that's what I'll do until some more people show up. I'm just gonna go through my med bag on stream. I just have to dig through my piles of bags. Ugh. Meet you guys. Hey Garrett, what's going on? Not too much. Trying to find my med bag, but it's at like the bottom of all my bags that I've got set up, and it's under a couple defensive tools that I can't mention. So that's a little bit of a struggle. I need to get more organized with this stuff. He should be ending about now. Who's that? You talking about rescue? And good morning. If he is, I hope he's not ending because somebody was talking about me. I hope not. I doubt it, but because I mentioned that viewers was hard when he was live, but all right. Yeah, I know he normally gets off or somewhere around this time. He didn't stream as long today as he normally did. But either way, that's way longer than I could stream for. I really don't know how he does it. Like almost every day. Okay. Well, I don't know if he's ended yet, but if you could tell him thank you and I really appreciate it. That would be nice. If not, I can hop over. Well, I'll still hop over there tomorrow when he goes live and thank him. I know you guys don't go up on panel much, but if you are interested in going up on panel, the link is in the description. The pinned link is to a channel that I was trying to push over 1,000 subs, which we've already managed to do, so that's awesome. But if you guys still want to go over there and subscribe, that would still be appreciated. Yeah, he seriously he streams about as long as normal people go to work. Absolutely crazy. I don't know how he does it. I'm turning my room into an absolute mess right now, trying to get to my freaking medical bag. Hey, what's going on, man? I apologize. I'm not exactly sure how to say your name. I am Tennessee Ridge Runner 2. Okay. That's a long name, man. I'm just gonna call you, like, Ridge. How about that? Does that work? Can I call you Ridge? Oh, guys, this is dumb. Why would I have my medical bag? Something that has the supplies in it to stop someone from bleeding at the bottom of my preps. This doesn't make any sense. I'm really dumb for that one. Oh my god, I don't even know. I'm just messing everything up right now. My given name is Ben. I'll try to remember that. I will try to remember that. Hey Sharon, I'm doing pretty good. How about you? Hey Huckleberry, good to see you. Guys, you're gonna have to give me a minute. I'm gonna have to set my phone down. I was trying to hold it, but this is a whole mess that I'm trying to search through. So give me 1 second. All right, I got it finally. I just seriously trashed my room trying to get this. Hopefully, it'll be worth it. Oh boy. I am feeling pretty dumb right now, though. That was not a good idea. I don't know what part of me thought it was a good idea to have my medical bag absolutely at the bottom of my prep bags, but oh boy. Hey Mama Red, good to see you. Hopefully I can find a way to get my phone set up here. Give me 1 second, try to set up my phone. Mama Red, do I have you as a moderator in my chat? I don't? Alright, I'm gonna do that real quick. Alright, modded Mama Red and Garrett there. Known both of them long enough. Now I need to find a way to set up my phone. I was not prepared for this in any way. Oh, I didn't think I was going to be doing this. Let's see. What can I use? It's got to be high enough that you guys can still see everything. This might work. Oh, this is some not having a job problems right here. Hopefully it's going to be fixed soon, though. I had an interview yesterday. And then I can actually buy a tripod rather than trying to set my phone up on some jank stuff. Need to buy a tripod, and then I need to buy some other device that I can actually run my stream off of. I was trying to run a stream off of a phone. It absolutely sucks. I appreciate that, Mama Red. Yeah, it's what I think it went well. Just waiting to hear back from him now. I don't know. That might be too tall. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see anything or not. Maybe if I move you back. I don't want to move it so far that I can't see chat either. Oh. Well, let's see what this looks like. Well, you guys can kind of see the top of the bag here. Yeah, it'll be good enough. Thank you, Garrett. Appreciate that. Thank you, Tennessee. Oh no, man, you don't have to do that in any way. I'm sure I can figure it out. Oh, I know it is, but that doesn't mean. All right, let's see what's in this bag here. It might be easier for me to stand up. We'll have to see. Let's see, can you guys see me if I stand up? Or am I gonna be too tall? Yeah, I'll probably stay down here. All right. So yeah, this is a old Swiss gear backpack. Wasn't using anymore, and I needed something for my medical supplies. So this is what I threw it all into. This doesn't have too much in it. It's just like the bare minimum medical supplies. I mean, like seriously, there's nothing too special in here. I've actually got some of my more serious supplies spread out between my EDC and a couple other things, just because I figured it was more likely that I would have that bag in a situation where I needed it rather than this. But eventually, I will get one of these completely stocked up the way it needs to be. Love the hoodie. Thank you. Yeah, that I can't remember. It might have been. Somebody was talking about it in Rusty's stream earlier. I knew I had to throw it on. All right, let's see what I've got in here. I set this bag up a couple months ago. I can't really remember what's in here now. So I've got a emergency blanket in here. Some cheap Dollar Tree Band-Aids. More cheap Dollar Tree Band-Aids. Some antibacterial wipes. Got this 3-in-1 cotton set that if you guys have seen any of my other videos to do with bags, you know that that's in everything. And then some matches and a lighter. I need to put some actual fire starter in here. I'm probably going to take these cotton balls and rub them in the antibacterial cream and everything. That way they're still medical, but they offer some fire starting capabilities. Yeah, it's the grunt style. It's the grunt style hoodie. And that Always Survive, he's got the t-shirt, but I've got the hoodie. Hey, William, what's going on? Good to see you. See if I can put stuff back in here and actually make it fit. Is anybody in the chat? I know a couple of you. I know Always Survive does, obviously. A couple other people. Does anybody prep in the chat? I know quite a few people that are in this community do. Tennessee, I prep. Hey man, can you do me a favor while I'm going through this bag, and if you see something that you don't think should be in here, or if you've got any suggestions for what else could be in here, can you let me know? Alright, let's get to this pocket here. And that goes for anybody else in the chat as well. You gotta find Eric I'm watching. I got a spider issue. That dude, he was making me laugh so hard the other day talking about how the dinosaurs should be extinct. Anyway, let's get onto this pocket here. I got some gauze, some 70% alcohol, now see, here's the stuff that I wonder should be in here or not. I put them in here because I wasn't sure where else to put them, but I've got stuff like cough drops in here. Let's see, where's the camera? There we go. Got stuff like cough drops in here, and I've got, I think, maybe another bag of cough drops, along with some normal cough medicine stuff. Hey, Indy, good to see you. Carl, prepper. Something on the package. Carl, I'm not too sure what you're saying there, Carl, but oh, never mind. I read it wrong. I understand now. Yeah. They are the same. Indy, good to see you. Indy, are you a mod in my chat? You should be as well. Carl should be too. I'm gonna have to do that before I do that. Some hand sanitizer. Another thing, I wasn't sure if it should be in here or not. And then while I'm gone, you guys let me know. Should the cough drops be in the medicine or in the medical bag, or no? Should I find another bag for that kind of stuff? Something for headaches, pain, Tylenol, Advil. I do have Tylenol in here. Or no, I have ibuprofen in here. I need to add more of that stuff. In 1 second, I'm gonna go mod Carl. And Carl's already a mod too. I can't keep track of all this stuff. I don't stream enough. If I started streaming more, I'd know. I wish you could see from the stream. Whoop, my bad. I wish you could see from StreamYard who's a mod and who isn't. Hey, Steel, good to see you. Have you got candy bars and a first aid kit in the bag? If you do, you're good. Well, this entire bag essentially is kind of like a first aid kit. It's just a really, really big first aid kit. I don't believe I have food in here. I don't know. I set this bag up a couple months ago, but I'm going through it now to try and remember what's in here. So we'll figure out if there's any food in here. Let's see. Hydrogen peroxide. See, this is another thing that I've been kind of iffy on, because I've heard a lot of people that have said that hydrogen peroxide is actually not that great of an emergency type medical supply, because apparently not only does it attack the bad cells, the infected cells, it also attacks the good cells. So that has made me worried a little bit. Let's see, and then I've also got another one of these 3-in-1 sets. And then I've got, so essentially here, I can show you guys, this 3-in-1 set, which has cotton balls, cotton pads, and then cotton swabs or Q-tips. So not only do I have two of these kits in here, but I also have all of those things separately. Thank you, Garrett. Candy bars are a requirement in any type of bag, first aid or otherwise. See, I don't typically do candy bars. I do granola bars, but that's just kind of like a personal preference to me. I do understand why you're saying that, though, with all the sugars and an immediate source of energy, keep people going type of thing. Let's see, but yeah. So I've got the 3-in-1 kit, which has that, but I've also got the separate. So cotton pads. These are cotton rounds, but they're the same thing. The entire package. The cotton swabs are Q-tips. And then I put them in with this because I didn't have a better spot to put them. Let's see if I can dig them out here. Some surgical scissors. I need to get a whole kit for that. But at the moment, scissors is what I've got. And then more cotton pads. I thought I had cotton balls in here somewhere. I guess not. Might throw some of those in. Yeah, Carl, I might do that. All my beds are continuously upgrading and everything. So the reason I do like these, and I know this is one of the things you're referring to take them out of this and put them in a Ziploc. It is nice to have these, and even once you run out, like even if I had them in here and I used all of them, it just gives me another kind of container, and it does have plastic dividers in there, so you can separate things on the inside. So that is kind of nice having an extra container. Neosporin is one of my go-to items, and maybe bug spray. I believe I do have Neosporin in here somewhere. But this is why we're going through it. Make sure I've got everything I need. Bug spray, that's a good addition. I should probably put that in here. I do have bug spray in one of my packs. I can't remember which one at this point. I've got too many. I need to go through them all. Refresh myself on what's in there. I'm not sure what's going on there. Uh, I couldn't read your message on what's going on, but I hope everything's okay. I hope you get through it all right. Survival Buzz. I've never heard of that. I'm gonna have to go check out his channel. Peroxide and Neosporin can be replaced with. I've never heard of that. I'm gonna have to check that out as well. Hopefully, I can remember that. Actually, I think I did hear that somewhere, but I've never actually looked into it. I need to. Let's see, I get everything here. So can we just do another quick vote here? Do 1 in the chat if you think cough drops belong in the med bag. Do 2 in the chat if you think they don't belong in the med bag. Three. What's 3 mean? What are you trying to do? You trying to trick me? 1. I need more votes, people. Come on. Indy, what's your... Oh, boy. Indy, what's your vote? Yeah, let's see right here. There's my ibuprofen in here. I knew it was in here somewhere. Well, considering Tennessee is the only person that actually voted, and he said yes, I guess we're going to keep him. Oh, boy. Well, let's move on to the... Let's see. Split it up. Put some in the med bag. Put some in your bug-out bag. Oh, I do have some in my bug-out bag, and there's some in my EDC. There's some... I have too many bags. I should do... It's not going to be this stream, but I should do this every stream. Every stream that I come up on here, I'll just tear down one of my bags and make it like the first half of the stream or something until more people show up. Get somebody up on panel. Let's see. Let's get into this pocket now, though. Is this where you store your med stuff or a med kit? Some of your... Wait, where's... Whoops. Yeah, Indy, it's... This is what I'm considering to be my med bag in case I've got to get out and in a bad situation. Coconut oil is a great antibacterial antifungal. Really, I did not know that about coconut oil. I've been trying to learn more about some of the more natural things that you can do. I heard a lot of people talk about the wild lettuce, and a lot of people talked about I think it's called mullein, something like that. That's supposedly a really great medical plant. YouTube, I watched just did a video about what's to come, but you said words. Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be something bad that happens here shortly. But at the same time, it's been looking like that since 2020 in a lot of ways, and it hasn't happened yet. But it does seem like as time is moving forward, it's progressively getting worse and worse. But yeah, I don't want to get into it too much. Yeah, this this channel that I'm on right now, I'm trying to keep it more within the community guidelines for YouTube. But I do have a second channel, and I will start live streaming on there eventually. And over there, that's where I can really talk about whatever the hell I want, and I'll get into it. Keep cough drops in the kit, but rotate them out on a regular basis. Yeah, I'm trying to rotate everything out on a regular basis, but it's hard. Especially, I have quite a few bags, and it's hard to try and remember what's in every bag and when everything needs to be rotated. Yeah, man. You're good with your comment, by the way. That's fine. And obviously, I'm quite literally reviewing a kit for situations like that. Do you want to drop your link so we can sub to the other channel? It's called the name of the other channel is called Midwest Lives, and it's got the same picture. It's got the same icon picture as my channel does. So you can go grab that if you want. That's good to know. Thank you for saying that. I've not heard that before. That is good to know, though. All right, let's move on. I think. Yeah, I'm on my last pocket here for this bag, but so I got a water bottle in here. This bag, I don't touch this bag very much at all. This is the first time I've opened it since I've made this bag. So this water bottle doesn't actually have water in it, unlike pretty much every other pack that I have. They do have water in them, just because I grab those packs and I'll drink the water and then I'll refill it, so it keeps getting new water in it. This bag isn't like that, so I don't keep water in there. Got pencil case. I don't remember. I don't know what's in here. Oh. It's just got some Band-Aids in it that I think the box got messed up, so I needed somewhere to put the Band-Aids, so I put them in here. So, more Band-Aids. This doesn't belong in here. I don't remember why I put it in here. I do know why I put this in here. So originally, this med bag was going to go in my car, and I was just going to have it in there in case something happened while I was traveling. And my thought was, if we weren't in an, oh boy, I don't want to say any trigger words, in an emergency situation, I always say that, I guess, or whatever, and I needed help, I had these glow sticks in here to try and, so I could get people's attention if I needed to. But at this point, I don't think this bag is going to be in my car. If I want a med bag in my car, I'll make a smaller one. So I think these are going to stay off to the side. I'm not going to put them back in. I've got a bowl in here for cooking and also to like boil and purify water. Sorry, I can't find the other channel. I'm not surprised. It's I don't have any content over there, and it's only got like 11 subscribers. So, yeah, it's not a big deal though. Maybe I can drop the link a little bit later. But yeah, I really like these. I've got 4 of these spread out between 4 different packs. They're like the perfect size to go in some of these, and they work really well. Another package of cough drops. Thank you for looking for that, Indy. I do appreciate it. So we got this emergency food ration bar. 2,400 calories. Let's see, it's got a 5-year shelf life, and it goes bad in February of 26. Huh. I didn't think I made this bag that early. I bought this when I made the bag. I didn't think it was that long ago. So yeah, I had not even touched this bag in over a year when I made it. Other channel's not coming up even with a specific search. Hey, that's all right. It's all right. I don't think it's probably not going to be anytime soon that I start streaming on there. I wish it was, but I want to focus on growing this channel at the moment. So unless something comes up where I really feel like I need to talk about something, I probably won't go on there. Oh, but yeah, 5-year shelf life, 2,400 calorie food ration bar. I've also got these, which these take up a lot of space. I'm wondering whether or not I should have them in here. You guys can let me know. A 100 pack of candles, just little tea light candles. But my thought process was that if I was out and it was cold weather and I had a tent, which I do have an emergency tent, and actually now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't know what pack I should put that emergency tent on. I think I should put it in this med bag or clip it onto it on the outside. But yeah, if I had that emergency tent, I could stick a couple of these candles either like right next to the edge, something like that, and try and bring the temperature up in it. Or if I had a normal tent either, which I've got a couple normal tents. I'm just in an emergency, I don't know if I'll have that or not. But even if I'm in a house and there's no power, so there's no heat, then these can bring up a room. I believe one candle can bring up a room about an average size room about 1 degree every 1 hour. So if you had 10 candles, 10 degrees every hour. I don't know. You guys let me know. Should I keep these in here? Hey, Huckleberry, thank you for that. Marty subbed and still didn't find it. Well, yeah. I don't know. It's YouTube does a lot of weird stuff with that. It probably took a while because I don't have any content over there. So they don't push out channels that don't have content. I'm going to do another poll real quick. 1, to keep these candles in the bag, and 2, to take them out. What do you guys think? Cut the top off a pop can or a tin can and place a candle in there to generate more heat and for fire safety. Yeah. But there's I don't know. I do have a can in one of my other packs that has a couple candles in it. I have to try and conserve space. But the other thing is, like, this is supposed to be a medical bag, so does it really fall into the medical category? I don't know. 1, but I never keep that many of those. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I thought about dividing them up, and I might still divide them up. Those tea light candles are now discounted at Walmart. Yeah, I got them at Walmart. I think it was like $2 and something for a pack of 100, and they burn longer than most tea light candles do. They're 3 to 5 hours, which for a tea light candle is pretty good. At least as far as I know. Most of the ones I have don't burn that long. Most people are saying 1, so I'm going to keep these in here. I do think I'm going to go grab that emergency tent, though, because now that I think about it, I think it made sense for that to be with this bag. Okay. How did we get here? What do you mean by that? How did we get here? What do you mean? Certain stores won't sell cigarettes anymore? Really? I saw a link earlier on the book and it said some Walmarts will probably stop selling cids. So, huh. I haven't heard anything about that, but I mean, I can't honestly say I'm surprised with how much backlash all of that stuff has been getting. Got some layers of Dollar Tree for bartering. That's interesting. I'm not sure I've heard too many people say that for bartering. Most people just think of it as a way to start fire. And you guys are posting a lot. I can't keep up. From lots of people, that cat food getting very hard to find, especially canned, but both canned and dry. Well, when you can't feed the cats, that's when the cats feed you, and you make Chinese food. Hey, that's cool, Carl. You got a lot of cool stuff, man. You got all that old military stuff. I'm jealous. What, you don't like cat food? Or you don't like Chinese food? My bad. I just totally messed that up. Oh, no. Uh, I think we've been in a situation where it's been very real for a long time. It's just getting more noticeable, in my opinion. I don't know. It's there's been a lot that's happened to contribute to the situation that we're in now. I still have on liquor products. Yeah, liquor is one of the best bartering tools that I've heard of. Oh no. What did I start? Yeah, but here's that emergency tent. It doesn't look pretty because I took it out and set it up for a review on my channel, and getting it back in this tiny little pouch was that wasn't fun. The biggest regret that I've had so far with prepping is this tent right here. Just taking it out and trying to put it back in. Yeah, I don't like much of my stuff to be shiny either. There is a place for that, but most of my preps are not that place. Try and attach this to the outside of my bag here. Carl, do you have any emergency tents? Yeah, good enough. It's on there. Oh, I'm trying to set my stuff back in here now. You have emergency tents? Okay, have you ever... No, I don't recommend this because, like I said, this was a... I'm not going to say it, but this was terrible to get back in that pouch. But, yeah. But have you... Hold on. Oh, never mind, I guess. Somebody popped up. I don't know who it was. By the time I got in there, they were gone. Looked like it might have been a bot. I don't know. But Mama Red, have you guys ever taken the tents out or no? You made a 1 and 2 man tent like that out of No Sweat Fibers. That's cool. So the reason I'm asking is because I did take my tent out, like I said, and I didn't actually think it was a very good design because it had no way to close it. It's open ended. It's just like a tube. One end's open all the way to the other end. So the point of the emergency tent, which I thought when I bought it, was that if you were in climate that was a little bit unforgiving, that you could set it up and it would keep you out of the weather. And I thought it seemed to be kind of the same material as an emergency blanket. So I thought it would trap heat in. And then I saw that it was open ended. You can't trap heat in if you don't have a way to close it. You got so much air rushing through there that you don't retain any of your body heat. So I don't really understand that. In my opinion, I almost think this tent, which I don't know, they might not all be made the same. I'm assuming they're not all made the same. But I think the tent that I have is almost better for the summer. You could set it up, and because it's open ended, you're going to get some breeze running through there. And it's also, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like the foil. The foil. So it's going to keep the sun off you. I think it's almost better for the summer. Hey, Devil Dog. All right, so that was it. Went through the med bag and took these out, added this. But yeah, so you guys have kind of seen this now. What do you guys think? What should I add? What else should I take out? What am I missing? I need to know what I'm missing. I want to keep improving on my stuff, so I need to know what should I be trying to get now. I'm gonna go put this back real quick. Alright, I brought another bag back with me too. Let's see, what you guys say? Do you have a good knife in there? I do not have a good knife in here, or in there actually. I need to put one in there. A good, I should get like a scalpel or something, considering that it's a med bag. Alright. So, this bag, I don't even know if this bag is a good concept. And for you guys out there that do this stuff, you guys can let me know if this is just stupid or not. This bag doesn't have too much in it. And I'm trying to remember what all is here. It's not finished yet, I know that. Alright, yeah, I remember what's in it now. So, yeah. You guys let me know if this is even a good idea to have. This bag has like a tarp and a couple insulated curtains in it. And I thought that I would make this bag and it would be used to help me make like makeshift shelters. Is that even a good idea? Having a bag that's got some of the things I need in it to do makeshift shelters? I don't know. Is anyone basically bugging in? It's not really an option to bug out. I'm just curious. Rescue's bugging in, and I'm kind of bugging in a way. I'm bugging out so that I can bug in, if that makes sense. I'm going to a different spot besides my household, going to another person's household, and then we're all bugging in there. I've got a group, and we're all bugging in at somebody's house. Well, Huckleberry, is this even something that's good to have? Do I bother making a bag like this, or do I just try and stuff a tarp in one of my other bags? I don't know. It's like, because I've been trying to debate on this. Like, is this a good bag, or should I repurpose this bag and make it something else? Make it another food bag, make it another clothing bag, another hygiene bag, something like that. I don't know. Well, either way, I'm gonna go through it real quick. That's a personal preference. I don't know. Let's go through it real quick. How about that? Then maybe some other people can hop on here and give me their opinions. What do I got in here? Am I in the wrong pocket? Might be in the wrong pocket. This bag has a lot of pockets. One of the reasons I like it. Alright, so I'm not going to take all of this out. If you guys can see in there, I've got a ton of rope sitting in here. It's not good 550, but it's good enough. There's a ton of rope in this. That's all that this pouch is up here is rope. Then I'm just going to go through this really quick. I'm not going to go into detail. I don't even have all the pockets full of anything. I'll be doing vids or maybe even my kits soon. Hey, that'll be really cool, man. I can't wait to see that. I'll try and hop in there when you guys are doing it. Alright, so I got a thermos in here, a can of tuna, some antibacterial wipes, some granola bars. This is like my food stuff. I've got a can of chicken gumbo soup. I just got a little bit of food in there. Not much. Just because that wasn't what I was planning on this bag to be. But like I was saying earlier, this bag is not finished, so there still needs to be more added, and food is going to be one of the things that would be added more. So, in this other compartment, I'm not even going to take all this stuff out, but this has a tarp in it, and I believe the tarp is the only thing that could fit in here. So the tarp is in this compartment. And then in this last compartment, I've got a little plastic shovel. I believe my intention behind this was that I could create little shallow fire pits with it, or if I needed a shovel for anything else. That actually might be better off being in one of my other packs. I'm not sure. I forgot I had that. And it's got a couple of those insulated curtains. If you guys have seen my camping video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to take them out of this bag. And then I think that's it for this pocket. So there's really not much in here. I got one more little compartment, but I'm not sure if anything's in. So I've got little toilet paper pads in here. Be fair, I've had 4 years of sitting on my kids. Right, Carl. Yeah. That'll still be really cool to see, man. I can't wait to see it. But either way, I'm gonna get. If you guys do end up doing that, there's gonna be some great insight there, and it'll still help me out. So, toilet paper, a lighter, and then a knife, just a little blade, and the knife also has a ferro rod with it. So, a couple ways to start a fire, cut stuff. This is another bag that I need to put some tinder in. But that rope actually has a decent amount of cotton in it. So that rope actually might be useful for some tinder. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's it for this pack. There's like nothing in it, hardly. I mean, I could still put more food in there. I could still put tinder in there. Maybe a little bit of medical supplies, little extra clothing, maybe, and a poncho, an emergency blanket, stuff like that. But is this worth it? Do I use an entire bag just for this? Or am I wasting a good bag? Should I be trying to repurpose it? I don't know. I mean, I almost feel like I'm wasting it in a way. What do you guys think? Is it worth it to have a bag that's just strictly set up to try and make up a makeshift shelter? And essentially, pretty much nothing else? What do you think? Carl, what do you think? I mean, this is a pretty good sized bag, and it's got a lot of pockets on it. And you guys saw there's not even too much in there. I don't think there's anything in this pocket. No, there's not. Well, we are not normal people, Carl. I don't think pretty much anybody in this community is normal. We're all a little bit on the crazy side. Well, at least that's what the mainstream would call us. You know what? I think I'm going to throw these glow sticks that I had for the other bag into here as some kind of lighting for my shelter. Might as well. I don't have anything else checked into the Zippo fire starting stuff. I have looked into that a pretty decent amount, actually. Here's the thing that I've got as far as that goes. If I get the Zippo fire starting stuff, that means I have to stock up on lighter fluid, and I've got to stock up on all their fire starting equipment. As an alternative, I can buy a couple ferro rods, like one of the good ones, some of the good ones, the thick ones that will last 10,000 plus strikes, and then all I need to do whenever I do a load of laundry and I get some dryer lint in the trap there, I just take that dryer lint, stuff it into a Ziploc bag, and all of a sudden I have a stockpile of fire starters. Because that dryer lint is an amazing fire starter. You just throw a little bit of sparks on there and it goes right up. I've done it in many videos. You can see it. So I do the Zippo fire starter is they're good. I've seen a lot of people use them, but for me, I don't think it's worth it. I found something that works for me, and I'm gonna stick to it. Um, Anybody that uses that though, I don't know if you use them or not. I'm not bashing you for that, so I hope I'm not coming off that way. But I've found something that works for myself as far as that goes. I tried to, Mama Red. I have 3 stages to my pack: full backpack, 3-day backpack, and then survival kit. Okay, Carl. You didn't answer me, Carl. What are you doing to me? Do I keep this bag? What do I do with it? Come on. You're the wise man here. I need to know. What are your thoughts? Come on. Really? I did not know that. Huh. I've never heard that before, Steel. Right, and everybody's got a different style. Everybody has stuff that works better for them than it will for other people. And to each their own as far as that goes. But I do think it's important for people to still be open-minded. I think that's definitely important because if you get too stuck in your ways, then you might be missing out. Garrett, yeah, we are, yeah. Uh, uh, I want to be careful what I say because, like I said, this channel I want to be careful on. But I don't get it. I don't know why people are the way they are. And as far as this goes, it should be anybody's choice. I don't think anybody should have to wear it. I don't think anybody should feel bad for wanting to wear it. It just needs to be a choice. Everybody wants to call this the land of the free, but it's only free if people can do what they want. Obviously, that's only to a certain extent. We have to have laws, but if you want to wear it, fine. If you don't want to, then whatever. You should be free to do so. And I feel the same way with with that thing. If you guys know what I'm trying to say, if you want it, fine. If you don't, then you shouldn't be forced into it. It's a good kit, but I'm only one man, so I have to make sure I can carry it all. So you think I should keep it? All right. I do need to finish setting it up, so I'm glad. Drop me the link. Carl, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the link to come join me up on here? If you are, that link is in the description. I might move it back to be in the pinned comment. The only reason I didn't is because I wanted everybody to go sub over to that channel. But he's over that 1K mark now, so I might. I'm just going to shut up now before I go on a rant, because lately I've been pissed. Yeah, it's hard. And trust me, I want to go on a rant right now. I'm really trying to be careful on this channel. I will, yeah. Trust me, when I start streaming on my other channel, there's going to be rants. It's going to be worse than Christina's channel. But yeah, Carl, if you go in the description for the live stream, the link to join should be in there. Get myself some water real quick. I'll be back. Hello, sir.
What's happening? There's just no easy answer. I had to come up here and talk to you about that.
Well, I appreciate you coming up here.
Hey, no problem, man. I always enjoy it. Uh, with my pack, I I realize that if you're going to rely on them, you have to be able to carry them. You
Right.
know, that's the thing I see people do. It's probably the biggest mistake I see people make when it comes to bug out bags or even backpacking. I've had, dozens of friends that want to go backpacking with me, and they go to the store and they buy everything they like and they strap it all over their pack, and then they try to carry it and they get about 1,000 yards before they start ditching things. All right, and
Right.
that's for real. Are they, because you can only carry, and then you add a weapon to the mix, and then the ammo and all the water you got to carry, and it gets ridiculous. All right, so if you're going to look for a true bug out bag, I always tell people to try it. I seen you go camping, but I didn't see you use your pack. I see you pulling them out of the vehicle, that kind of thing. That's cool. But if you were going to actually have to hump it, you're going to have to realize what you have and what it comes down to, the basic necessities, because you're going to have to winnow through a lot of stuff. You know, the tea lights and stuff like that, I would put a handful of them in my kit and keep the rest of them in my vehicle. If you put them in another pack themselves, call it a supply pack, a resupply pack, where you could have that to refill your gear that you already have. But in a situation where you're going to be on foot, God forbid that happens, you're going to want to be as light as you possibly can. All right.
Right. And
And
I know you haven't seen a lot of my older videos. At least I don't believe so. But I actually
probably
did
not.
hike. I did hike almost every single weekend throughout the winter, and I did that with my father-in-law, and I did that with my bug out bag on, which is over 50 pounds. Which I know there's people with heavier bags than that, but that's still quite a bit of weight on my back.
Hey, yeah, you bet. 50 pounds is a lot to manage. I keep mine at around 80 pounds for my main pack. My 3 day
Okay.
pack weighs about 35 pounds. My survival kit weighs about 15 pounds. And the reason for that is, let's say you're going to bug out for real, and you've got to have your shelter, you got to have at least means of getting food and water. You got to have a
Right.
little bit to start with. You got to have, you know, your basic necessities, which will keep you warm, dry, fed, watered, and medically sound. All right.
Right.
Not to mention protected. But and I mean that, I could mean that by your kniffy or your weapon, but you could also count that as mosquito netting and stuff like that, because there's some things you just got to have, like that little tent you said you have. It doesn't actually zip up; it just ties closed. How's that work?
So, um, let's see. How can I describe it? So, the tent is essentially. Uh, I guess I can do it like this. So, say the straw is the tent, right? It's a hollow tube, and you set the hollow tube in between two trees, and
Okay, I know which one it is now. Yep.
and you stick the
Yep. It,
rope through it. So there's no way to seal off the ends at all.
yeah, that's gonna suck in a Michigan swamp. All right, the
Yeah,
mosquitoes are gonna carry your ass away.
yeah,
Um, yeah, that would be fine for colder weather or such, but I wouldn't even bother with that. You can get a better you can build a better shelter with a U.S. military rain poncho. All right, it's going to be the same dang difference. I don't know if
right.
you're familiar with those, but
Yeah,
it is one of my must own pieces of gear. In fact, I carry three ponchos with me. All right, I got one in my survival kit and the other two in my main pack because they can all snap together and you can make a pretty good size covering with that. But they
right,
also, you were asking about my tents. One of them is a one person design that I made with it's 100% urethane coated ripstop nylon, the same exact woodland patterned fabric that the military uses on the rain ponchos. And I made a bathtub floor out of them to where there's no seams. I can lay it right in the mud puddle and it's not going to get in the tent. But that only goes up for about a foot. And the rest of it's all woodland mosquito netting on the top. So I could see 360 degrees around me. Its zip was closed. It's absolutely bug. I could set up next to an ant hill and never have a worry. But then my rain ponchos work as a rain fly, so I could set those up in a myriad of different configurations. To where I can keep an
right,
eye on everything all the way around. I can, sleep with my water and my weapon inside there, see everything that goes on. If I had to, I could shoot right through the screen. There's just all kinds of benefits to having that set up that way. I do make a two-person version of that tent because I've gone camping with a lot of gals, and
right.
I like to be able to have them in there. But
Hey, real,
the
real
thing,
quick, Nikki, my call went pretty good, and I'm waiting to hear back from him. Most likely, it's sounding like I'm gonna get it. Continue, Carl. I didn't want to
no,
dismiss
that's all right.
Chad.
That's all right. I mean, you got to watch me on this subject because I'll just keep rattling on. One of the things I like to make sure is my packs float. All right. That way I can, if I can't keep them buoyant in my travels, they can keep me buoyant in my travels. I mean, I could
Right.
dump my canteens and I take all the metal off of my packs and replace them with, nylon clips, Fastex clips, or parachute cord loops, or whatever it takes just to lighten the pack down. Because that's not just the weight that you're carrying; it's also the weight as if you had to toss it in the drink.
Right.
And I I'm I do need to do these videos on my kit because it's hard to explain just by talking about them. It's not just going out and packing it in your backyard and using it a couple times. I've used all this gear for decades. I've walked across the states with this stuff. I've spent over a year camping with it in the woods, and just to test everything to the fullest extent. And
Yeah.
a lot of it has to do with durability. I know that a lot of the commercial grade stuff they sell today, I've seen the seams bust out of them on the first use. In fact, I've had to repair a lot of those little tents and bivy shelters and sleep systems and stuff because the zippers blow out on them or the seams blow. It's just the more you use something, the more you're going to know what you want.
Yeah. Well, and even I took that emergency tent out because I wanted to do a review on it for my channel, and that thing, it, look, I understand it's like pretty much a one use thing, but I barely had it out, barely even, not even for an hour, and it's got little pinholes through it. Wherever
Mm.
something touched it, it just made a tiny little hole inside side of it. I was like, that's not gonna work. Like if you
Yeah.
actually needed to stay in that tent for like a week or something because you got stuck in a place, it would be trashed by the time that you needed to leave.
Well, the ones I made, they rolled down is about the same size as the one you have. And I remember in the 80s they didn't have any bivy shelters. There were those are fairly new. When I made these tents, they didn't exist. I just needed something that it was as small and lightweight as possible. So the concept was to make a tent that didn't need poles. I could tie it up to a motorcycle, a bicycle, a couple of trees, whatever it took to
Right.
set it up. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. If you can't do that, you're probably screwed anyways. But it's the poles that weigh so much on a tent. Those baby shelters have come a long ways, but that's still, if it's an 8, 10 pound tent in your pack, that's going to be one of the heaviest things you're carrying besides water. If you
Yep.
can break that down to the weight like the little tent you had, unfortunately, I see the downfalls you're speaking of, but there's probably better, alternatives out there. That tent, those tube tents, they were in the survival manuals and all that, and they were designed to keep the body heat in, just to keep you alive enough to where you don't get hypothermia. That's
Here's
really all
here's
they're
my
meant
question.
for.
So that's what I thought when I bought it. It's supposed to be able to keep you warm. How is it going to keep you warm with both the ends open when you can have air rushing right over there? How are you going to keep any of your body heat in there?
Because in a temperate climate, it would be just enough to keep your body heat that at a certain temperature. It's you're you'd be surprised what just standing behind a tree in a wind, the difference in the temperature that it could make the difference, in a survival situation. The
Right.
idea is not to get into that survival situation. No, you want to be comfortable enough to where you don't have to worry about hypothermia.
Right.
You'd be better off with one of those space blankets than you would be that tube tent.
Well, see, my one of my thinkings was when I figured out that this tent wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. I was like, well, I guess I've got something that like I've essentially what I think it is a really 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 big emergency blanket, and I could
There
fit
you
like
go.
three or maybe four people in it, and if we got all of our combined body heat in there, then maybe it would be worth something.
Well, that's why I would go to the whoopee. You know what a whoopee is? They call
I
them a
don't.
whoopee. That's a fond term used by the military for a U.S. military rain poncho liner. All right, it's a nylon and Dacron batted blanket that ties within inside the rain poncho. That
Okay.
it's for that to keep warm, but also a rain poncho can be turned into a sleeping bag, a tube tent. They can be snapped together and made into a larger sleeping bag. You can build on them, right? They've got little ties on them. But the thing is when you wrap yourself in a poncho liner, as long as the wind's not cutting through it, it holds all your body heat in very efficiently. That's
Right.
why they're so loved by the militaries, because a wool blanket's fine in the rain, it'll keep you warm in real cold conditions, but a poncho liner is good to use from hot temperatures all the way down to extreme temperatures, because you can always use it for a liner as you're in your sleeping bag with you. You can
Yeah.
use it for another layer of protection, or you can just wrap up like a wigwam, and like Indians sitting style, and it really keeps the heat in. Until you really own one, use it. I'll tell you what, I've got about 10 of those puppies, and I use them in the house for my blankets. I use them for a lot of things.
Right.
You really, there's a lot of people that the first thing they ask me when they come into my flea market stand or something, they'd be like, "Hey, you got any poncho liners, or you got any woobies?" I could never keep them in stock. They would sell like hotcakes. They used to
Yeah.
be pretty cheap to get. Now they're expensive, but they also make high grade versions of these now with thinsulate insulation in them and extra batting, and they come in all different. You can get black ones now. It's kind of amazing the selection that's available now. If you go looking for them, just look up U.S. military rain poncho liner. All right, that
Yeah,
won't
I
even.
do have a poncho, but it doesn't have any kind of liner with it.
But
But
is it a
I want to
military issue
say,
one?
I want to
Because
say mine
see,
was
there's the thing.
$40.
Okay, here's the thing. They do remake those. There are commercial copies of the U.S. military gear on almost everything: the boots, the ponchos, the poncho liners, all that. I've
Okay,
got Vietnam era poncho liners that are still holding up better than the commercial ones that I bought later. The
right,
military issue into that makes a difference, and it really goes with the rain ponchos. In the 1950s and even before a little, they were using a heavy fabric with a heavy coating on them, and they were heavy. I mean, it was a big, thick, green, almost tarp-like poncho. By the Vietnam War, they were using lightweight, solid green nylon urethane coating. Then they went to the woodland pattern camouflage ones, and they've got better snaps, better grommets, better ties. The fabric's better, the urethane coating's better. I wouldn't even mess with a commercial copy of a rain poncho. I'd go straight to a military issue one as new as you can get them because you
right.
used to not even be able to buy them brand new. You had to get them from a surplus store and dig through a pile of a couple hundred of them to find the best one you could get. Those things have improved over time. Now you can buy a brand new one. You're going to spend $75 on this poncho liner or this poncho alone, but you're going to love it. It's going to be
Right.
one of those pieces of gear that you can use to cover your gear in a rainstorm. You could make a tent out of it. You can use it for a vestibule for your tent. You could cover your fire. There's just so many things you can do with a rain poncho that converts into a tarp. And that's the thing is they have a hood, but there's a couple techniques that you can tie that hood. Now you could even use it for collecting water.
Right.
There's so many things to do it that it's one of the most highly recommended pieces of gear I would recommend to anybody.
Well, I did want to ask you something. When I did that camping video and I was in that tent, uh, I had by morning a lot of condensation built up on the walls of the tent, which I'm assuming is just coming from my breath mostly. But I was
Yep.
wondering what I could do to try and mitigate that.
Well, any kind of airflow you can create. They do make little tiny pocket fans. I've got one of them myself. I got another one that came with an air mattress I bought. But all it is airflow. In some of the tent designs, you'll see that they have vents. My 1944 Arctic tent's got one of those little tubes at the end of each tent that allows the vapors to go out because of just that fact. If you're in an extreme cold weather situation, which you could be here in Michigan,
Yeah.
that's what kills people. All right. It's not freezing to death because they didn't have the gear or they were cold. They freeze to death because they condensate moisture or sweat and then they freeze. They lose all
Right.
their insulation quality, and that's why the old guys relied on wool so much. I've even got mountain, I don't know if you know what a mountain bag is, but it's the
Yeah.
military mummy style bags. The first ones were all wool with a cotton fabric outside. I've got a couple of those too because I like to use them for liners on my mountain bags. And
Okay.
if you ever go to buy a mountain bag, which I recommend in Michigan, forget about the extreme cold weather bag. Forget about the immediate cold bag because those are both a synthetic insulation that once they get wet, they don't do anything for you but help you freeze to death. All right. But the old style was called a mountain bag or an evacuation bag or a Arctic bag, which is also known as an Arctic mountain bag. They're actually one bag's bigger than the other. You put the regular mountain bag inside the Arctic bag, and you get a two-layer of down-filled goodness with an outer lace-on cover. And those are what I highly recommend. Just go with the down. They used the best down available from 1935 all the way up until the 60s on those bags.
Okay.
There's very few things that will wick moisture away from your body when it's wet, and that's wool and buckskin. That's the only two things that'll do that. They say Gore-Tex does it, but I'll tell you, you take that out in the field and test them against each other and tell me what you like. I've done it. I don't like Gore-Tex, not to mention the zippity zip noise they make on everything. I can't stand that.
Right. Yeah, I've got I need to find it actually. I haven't seen it in a couple of years because I just haven't looked for it. But my dad and my grandpa used to go out to Montana and Wyoming and Colorado almost every year to go elk hunting up in the mountains. And my dad had an old military surplus sleeping bag that was meant for cold weather. And I think he said that that thing was rated to negative 10 or 15. And I need to go find that.
Yeah, I have. I think I have all of the versions. I was thinking about doing a video on those too, just to help people see the differences. I mean, a temperate intermediate style bag. It's a Dacron filled one. They issued them by the tens of thousands in Desert Storm and stuff. But they're there were guys that threw them away because they were either too hot in the desert, or if they got wet, they were just useless and weighed a ton. All right. Once That's another thing about a down bag is if you get it wet and you roll it up, most of that moisture is coming out of it. If you do that with a Dacron bag, it's like carrying a gigantic sack of wet cotton. It's just
Right.
ridiculously heavy. Um, yeah, I'd look for that bag if I were you, and if you can look at the nomenclature on it, it's going to be there somewhere on a tag, or even if that nomenclature's gone, I can tell you what it is and whether it's worth keeping. If it's
Okay.
down filled, it's worth using. All right, I'm going to tell
Okay.
you straight up. Try to acquire that bag if you can.
Yeah, I
I
need
mean,
to.
you can find them; they're out there, but finding them in prime condition is a tricky thing because they
Right.
are fragile. They come with a lace on outer cover that everybody thinks, oh, I don't need that. Yeah, you need that because all it takes is one brush against a piece of something and you got a rip in your bag. Now you're losing feathers. You keep the outer cover laced on. They're water resistant. I'm not going to say they're waterproof, but you can even take the outer covers and spray them with your water repellent
Right.
treatments and stuff. It helps. But yeah, there's it's just no easy answer for some of these questions, little brother.
Yeah, Sharon, I do need a tourniquet in that med bag, and um, I do actually have something to cook my food in. It's not very big; it's just a little metal cup, but I needed something to put in there that I could still conserve space with, and it's good enough for that. So I do actually have the food situation covered, but yeah, I do need a tourniquet.
Well, do you wear a belt?
Yep.
Then you don't need a tourniquet. In reality, I mean, unless you wanted to keep your belt, and if you get one of those, they make these little rubber hoses, and it's a neoprene hose is what it's made out of. It's the same stuff they use to make wetsuits and stuff, and that's about the most lightweight tourniquet you can carry with you. They do put them in U.S. military kits. It's the natural color of neoprene. They're nothing fancy. It's just like a quarter-inch piece of rubber tubing. But that's
Okay.
what they issue for, and it'll last a long time. But I get them in old kits. Even kits far back as Vietnam, they'll be all dried out and stuff like an old rubber band. You just got to keep an eye on it that way.
Right. Yeah, I have. Actually, I can show you real quick if you give me a second. An old belt. It barely fits me, but it works really well. Or it would work really well as a tourniquet.
But then, I'm saying if you have that on you, that's your tourniquet. I
Right.
wouldn't put another belt in my kit so I would have a tourniquet. I would have the belt on that I would want. you know,
Yeah, I don't. I thought about. I'm not. I'm not gonna go grab it, but I thought about taking this one belt that I've got and actually cutting it down and trying to turn it into a tourniquet. but I'm not very good with that kind of stuff. It's it's kind of
This what I would try to get to you, try to convey to you, because after seeing your kit, like I said, I would take all the Q-tips out. I'd put half of those in a Ziploc bag, and I'd squeeze the air out of it and fold that up and put it inside of a larger Ziploc bag. Then take the cotton balls and do the same thing and squeeze all the air out of them, put them in there, take all of the Band-Aids out of that, split those up, put half of them in one Ziploc bag and squeeze the air out. And I would make a small little portable half kit of what you're carrying with, a few tea lights in it, you know, but then I would keep all the rest of that stuff in the bag that you have it in, and just keep that for like you can resupply your smaller kit, because
okay.
right now for camping, even in a bug out situation, you're not going to need that many of them right away. You're going to be in a
Right,
situation where carrying as little as possible is the best idea.
right,
You know, and you could get a little bit of everything that you have in that pack down to the size of a 1 gallon Ziploc baggie. All right. Now all you need is a small pouch to put that on the outside of your regular pack that you're going to use. That way
right,
you can get to it in a heartbeat, and it's right there. It's small, it's lightweight. That is really what I would suggest to you after seeing that pack. And then
okay.
just keep all the other stuff in that pack loose in your vehicle, ready to restock your stuff whenever you need it.
Yeah, I need to get a small bag. I actually don't have any. Well, I take that back. I do have a couple small bags, but they're super, super cheap. I got them from the Dollar Tree. I need to go out and actually get a proper small pack.
Right on. And I always use parachute cord to attach my pouches to my kit. They're what they call the Alice clips, all-purpose lightweight individual carrying equipment. That was the way that everything used to be hooked on. There's little metal clips that hooked all the military pouches to all the military gear, your web gear, and your belt, and all that. Well, they've they've upgraded this now to things called like the Molly set, and they
Right,
have these nylon straps, and some of them have Velcro attachments and stuff. That's all fine and dandy, but in a bug out situation, a guy cannot possibly carry too much paracord. So I
yeah,
always take the metal out of it, and I use little pieces of paracord cut evenly and all that, and I'll attach my packs to the outside, because if I needed to remove that pack in a heartbeat, I don't want to screw around. My knife is going to take that off that pack anyway. So cutting a piece of paracord like that isn't going to be a detrimental to your whole pack's integrity. It's just quick, easy, lightweight, and it doesn't sink. So
right.
thank you, Steel Tree. Appreciate that. I believe his real name is Eric.
Yeah. Actually, I do have some. I'm gonna go get something real quick to show you.
Right on, right on. Yeah. I wonder what he's doing. I sparked a memory in him or something. He remembered he owned something. I got him thinking. That's good. Tar Pity, when I first started seeing your name, all I could see was the name Tarp first. So I was Tarp Itty? I had to reread that one a few times.
So, in your opinion, I have. Let's see if I can. I've got this little first aid pouch. Do you think I could fit everything that I needed to from that bag into here, and then find a
I
way to
know
attach that to my main bag?
I know you could. And if you didn't like the red standing out, you just,
Well,
you know,
yeah, I would I would paint it black or something.
or just get a little black plastic bag and you tie it over it. Because that way, if you wanted it red, it's easy to get it off. But yeah, I have this thing because all it all it takes is something the size of a pack of cigarettes or something in bright color. You could set it across the field and it stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah,
I've always went above and beyond trying to keep everything subdued and non-visible. The main reason really for that is so I can ditch my kit, my gear, whatever I need to. I can throw it in a bush and hide it real well. And the chances of it being there when I come back is real good.
yeah,
You know, it's the same thing with those colorful tents. I can't stand a colorful tent. Even some of the greens are the wrong color. They stand out like a sore thumb. It's like, hey, there he is. You know,
yeah,
it's not easy to find the right color tent. That's one of the reasons I made my own tent. But that was
yeah.
the
And
80s
I've
before a lot of stuff was available.
yeah, that tent that I just went camping with, that was bright blue, and that would not be at all good in that kind of situation. I thought about trying to make something out of some it's mesh that I've got, but then I mean, obviously if it's mesh, it's not going to be airtight, it's not going to be watertight, and I was like, that's not going to work. So that got shot down real quick.
I would, if I were you, when you can afford it, I'd be looking at some of the tents they have available on the market now. They have even some foreignish. I don't know what it is, but some of the foreign gear is much cheaper than the U.S. military gear when you go to buy it for surplus. So if you don't
Okay.
want to spend money for a super nice U.S. issued piece of gear, always look for a German version of it or a Swiss version of it because you might find something that's just as tough, just as nice, the right colors. It's just I'm a little bit anal about my stuff. I like all my gear to be woodland camo pattern, the original. I like it all to be as issue as possible. If I make my gear, then I'm going to make it out of military spec fabrics, ballistic nylons, whatever it is. I keep it all. It all looks the same. It looks
Right.
like it's all born together.
Right. And that's, I mean, in my opinion, that's the best way to do it. Get everything as close to the same as you can.
Yeah, there's one downfall about that is if you had to go out into the civilian, populace or something, carrying a military backpack, it's noticeable to somebody trained to search people and look for suspects and stuff.
Right.
In that case, what you'd want would just be a piece of fabric or something blue or like a piece of that tent, and you wrap it around your whole pack and cover that way. Because the U.S. military makes what they call field pack covers, and they come in the desert storm patterns, the old chocolate chip and the three color deserts. They come in the woodland. I think they've made solid green ones, but the ones I have that I kept, well, I actually have some of the wood ones. I use them for truck seat covers, but the white ones because now I've got a full winter kit. Snowshoes, skis, and white Mickey Mouse, a couple different styles of white winter camo and stuff, but then my pack would stand out like a sore thumb on my back. So they make
Right.
these white covers that go right over top. They're just an elastic cover, kind of like a spare tire cover on the back of a Jeep or something. And,
Okay.
and then it's the same concept, is where if you have a very tactical looking kit, you don't really want to walk through a downtown street with that in a situation. If
No.
you had to make it look more like you'd want to look at like a homeless person as much as you could. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I hope that I don't have to walk through an area like that, but
Well,
you
we
never
all hope
really
that,
know.
but contingency plans, man. It's all about
Yeah.
contingency plans. The bug out
Yeah.
bag itself is a contingency plan, so you got to think it through all the
Yeah.
way. And the only way you're ever going to really ever know is get it from somebody like me that's done all this, or you're going to have to do it yourself and learn the hard way. Up from the bottom up.
Right.
because there's lessons to be taught every time you go out and do something.
That's for sure. No,
I
I
started
learn
keeping
something every time even if I just go out into the woods, no matter if it's something small or big, I learn something every time.
right on. There's just things I picked up. Like I keep a 120-foot piece of paracord on the outer strap of my backpack on my right side. And I put a grenade style pouch on there just to hold that piece of paracord. But that paracord's anchored to my pack with a quick release knot. Thing is I can pull that wad of paracord out, throw it over a branch, and pull my pack up into a tree in a matter of less than a minute. Or if I was to lose my pack, I can use that because I can tie that to myself. So where if the pack was to get away from me, I can retrieve it with that line. All
Right.
right. I could also use it for crossing a river. It will help you in situations where having a line attached to your pack comes in handy if you're going to take the hard way around.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea actually, and I should probably try and do that with my pack.
Well, use parachute cord and there's even see they even remade parachute cord. The original 7 core 550-pound test military parachute cord. When I was getting this stuff, I was buying bulk lots of parachutes so I could cut the line off the parachutes. I would give or sell the remaining nylon canopy away, get rid of that because I was only after the cordage. They
Okay.
didn't sell it in spools until like the early 90s. I started being able to buy a full 500 foot or 5,000 foot yard spool. um, they started selling little links of it, about 120 feet of it or so, but the original 7 core was a much higher tensile strength. Now they make a polyester filled parachute cord and they call it paracord, and they don't tell you that it's not 550-pound test. They don't tell you that it's nowhere near as strong as the original. They still
Right.
make the original for the military, of course, but there's a whole commercial market of colored glow in the dark paracord. They got everything now, but
Yeah.
it's not the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody tells you. It's not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find what I want for my cordage to be really, and everybody goes for the paracord, and obviously you're saying the parachute cord there, but I don't know where to find that. Um,
Well, if you go into a surplus store or something, look at the end of it. The original will have 7 strands of you can take the cores out of a 7 core paracord. You could use the outer sheathing to tie up anything like you normally would. Now you have 7 strands of string inside of that. You could take one of those 7 pieces of string inside, take that apart even further, and get down to a medical gauge suture that you could sew your own skin with because it's such a fine, thin, and it's in the survival manuals, but that's good stuff to know. Uh, a
okay.
piece of parachute cord it's 8 times what you carry. If you carry a 10-foot piece of real paracord, now you have 8 pieces of strong string
Right.
instead of just one, because you can pull the center right out of it. You know.
Uh, you said you, Camo Carl, you should be teaching classes. Your knowledge is so valuable. Grateful to be hearing as much as I do from you and others in this group. I I agree with that. There should be a Camo Carl class.
Thank you, people. I've been in this game a long time. I did military vehicle shows. I did, flea markets and gun shows all over Michigan and a couple other states. And I've been into this since I started buying Army surplus and got hooked on it in like 1974. All right. I was hooked on it. Canvas bags and all kinds of whatever I could find. And it never went away. It
Right.
just, it stuck with me.
You should try and do something like a class, like every Wednesday or something. You and Backwood should get on a live stream and just like think of it as a class for all the people watching. Every
Well,
week
it's
have some kind of
coming.
different topic, different lesson that you're trying to teach everyone.
I just started that live streaming. I haven't really done a whole lot of videos, and it's coming. All right, because I have a lot of this information. I can go on for days about this stuff, and I've got just you hang in there, youngster. It's coming.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
I'm actually excited to be able to show it because I'm not kidding you. I've bored a lot of my friends in my day.
Mama
You
Red
guys
says
want? You guys are
Mama Red
asking
says
for
that
it.
she seconds that.
And it's I've got like 150 of my own designs, that I could patent. I don't have the money to patent it. I don't want to go through it, but if I couldn't find something like that tent you described exactly, I know what it is. And if I couldn't do anything else with it, I would have cut out a piece of triangle fabric off of something that I liked and sewed one end where I could turn the bag inside out, leaving one little piece open. Then the other side, I might have put mosquito netting or at least a tie where I could tie it closed like a trash bag at the end.
Right.
Because I know what you mean. You're unsatisfied with that piece of gear. I did all kinds of modifications and stuff to equipment that I've owned until I got to the point to where I could make something better than this, and I learned a skill enough to where I could do that. And a lot of my gear is pure custom stuff. They don't sell it. Nobody's ever seen it. It's you know like the parachute core spools I was talking about. I wanted something that I could stomp on it and put my sunglasses in it, whatever I want, and there's nothing you're going to do to break what's inside that container. So I made it's just like the size of a pretty beefy travel coffee cup or something. And what it is I cut the core, the ends off of those big spools of paracord, and now I've got this tube of super hard, heavy duty plastic. It's actually called nylon. It's pure nylon, and I can stomp on it, step on it, run the car over it. Nothing's gonna bust it. Now I've got a place. I made a case that goes around it, and now I have a place to keep all my sunglasses and my compass or whatever I want to put in there that I'm afraid of breaking.
Okay. Yeah, I thought about. I don't know if the material that it is would allow me to do so, but I thought about trying to attach some kind of zipper to that tent, at least on one end, so I could close it up. But I don't know if that material would allow me to do it because it's almost like metal foil in a way instead of
Oh yeah, that
fabric.
may not even be worth messing with. But if you're unhappy with it, like I said, it would be still better than nothing in a real
Yeah.
situation. That all that tent was made. It's a survival tube tent designed to keep body heat around you long enough for somebody to come and rescue your butt. All right, that's what that is.
Right.
Um, Give it to somebody. If you upgrade, you don't need that no more. But it's still better than nothing for the next guy. So just
Right.
pass it on down the line.
Yeah. I need to upgrade a lot of my stuff, but need more money. I need a
Man,
job.
at least you got the stuff. All right. Most people don't even think that they're ever going to need anything like that. And it might not be from shit hits the fan. It could be from a tornado that wipes out your house. It could be from a
Right.
flood you didn't see coming. It could be for, all kinds of reasons. But at least
Right.
you have it. You can
Yeah.
grab it and go if you had to. All right. As
Prepared.
like I said, I got decades into this, and it's a lot of upgrading. I've gone through so much crap that I don't own no more, that I don't need, that I don't want. But I thought it was cool at the time, so I bought it. Oh wow, look at this shovel thing. This does 5 different things. I can turn it into a saw, and I can turn the shovel, and it broke in the first freaking use. there, there's a lot of crap out there, and you really won't know it until you take it out into the field and field test it yourself.
Right. I mean, at least you've got that knowledge, though, of what can work and what won't.
The only way you get that stuff is from somebody either teaching it to you or you do it on your own, you know. And there's, gosh, there's just there's volumes of information that you can gain just by doing it yourself. You know, here's a good one. I always try to explain this to people. Most people don't realize that there's the right and the wrong way to use knots or tie offs to your tents or tarps. Meaning that if you tie the wrong one, the water comes down the tarp of your tent, collects right where your tent ends, fills the area you're sleeping on with water. But if you do it right, you can make that water drain away from your tent right down the line of the tent. Those same guy lines that can curse you can be a blessing. You can make, in one night's heavy rainfall, you can make 50 gallons of water go away from your tent, or you can bring it into your tent. Your
Right.
choice.
Yeah, I need to get better with my knot tying. I don't know too many, especially not any specialty ones. I made a video about one that I learned a while back, but
Well, my
I
favorite
only.
knot will kill you if you don't do it right. If you use it for its original purpose, it's called a sheep shank. And the idea is, let's say you have a 75-foot rope and you want to climb down a cliff. Well, you get to the bottom of the cliff and you find another cliff. Now you need that same rope. How are you going to get the rope? This knot allows you to take the end of your rope and shake it in the right way, and it'll untie. You'll lose a couple of feet of your rope where it's tied down and where the knot is, but now you have most of your rope. You can carry that on to the next one. And it's a super simple. It's a double hitch knot, but one loop in the wrong direction, and it'll kill you if you put your weight on it like that. You know,
See, that's actually the knot that I made a video on. At
a
least
sheep shank. You do
I
the sheep
believe we're
shank.
talking about the same one at least.
It is probably one of the trickiest ones there is to learn, you know, and I wouldn't recommend anybody put their life on it unless they've done it a couple hundred times.
Yeah, I can. Let's see. I'll try and demonstrate the knot that I know and see if it's the same one that you're talking about. As long as I can remember how to do it. I haven't done it since I made the video. All right. You're not gonna be able to hardly see this. I'll try bringing the camera down closer.
There's a
So,
pretty cool little card that you can get, and it's called 40 knots, you know, as in the speed, 40 knots, but it's actually a little, you know, credit card sized card that you has all the detailed drawings on how to do all probably the 40 most useful knots there is to know. And you can keep
okay.
that in your wall. That would help you.
And I need to
Put
see
yourself
if I
big
can even
screen.
remember how to do this.
Put yourself big screen to do it.
I might not even remember how to do this, to be
All
honest.
right, let me turn on my camera real quick. All right, you can't probably hardly even see me, can you? All right.
I can do that.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna get the right. Here we go. Got your string. You go one loop, two loop inside, three loop to the inside. Can you guys see all this? Here's what the concept is with this is you cut that single one that's at the top and it creates just enough tension that it holds. All right. Let's see. Now you've got this double hitch that's hold. You cut the center one here and it'll still hold both of those hitches. So when you get down and you let it go, you can shake that out and take your rope with you. Did you see
Okay.
how I
Yeah,
did? Let me see if I
that's
can do it
not
again.
actually the same knot that I Those are
Yeah,
fine.
this is probably the one of the hardest. Watch again. Right, one loop, one more loop inside, and one more loop to the inside. Reach inside both outer loops and pull it tight. I need a better lighting for that. I can see in my picture it's not easy to see.
So I want to see if I can remember my knot that I'm talking about. Let me see if I can go. Oh no, Carl, I hit the wrong button, join back. Oh no. I meant to exit the solo stream mode and I accidentally kicked him out. Please join back. I did not mean to do that. See if I can try and get this set up while he's joining back. I'll just see if I can do it real quick and then I'll try and show you guys how to do it. Because I'm not going to bother trying to tell you guys how to do it if I don't know myself. To pull that through. So then you can. Says you're backstage. Oh. That's weird. Sorry about that. I'm not sure how I managed
It's
to
all
do
right,
that.
man. I know exactly how that works. I did my first live here the other day, remember? There was all kinds of button pushing going on.
So, the knot, man, I honestly might have
It
to
looks
go
like
back
you're
to my
trying to do
own
a half
video
hitch.
to learn the knot.
I think you're doing a half hitch, all right, which is
So,
good for anchoring to things, you know.
so you take your rope and you fold it in half. So essentially, you have two strings. And if you've got your anchor point, which, well, actually, let me go solo string here. And let's call this my anchor point. So maybe it's a log at the top of a cliff or something. You wrap it around, and then.
I'll
Man, so
bet you I could do a whole live stream on just knots.
I think you pull this through. I think you take your bottom rope and run it through and pull it tight so that you have a loop on the outside. And then what it should be is one of these ropes should be tight for your anchor. That one's not. Hopefully it's the other one so I don't just mess this up. Let's see if this one is tight. No. Neither of them. Man. Give me 2 seconds. Let's see. Now I just need to make sure I can still do it. I'm going to go look at my own video and learn the knot that I tried to teach me.
Practice that and do that on another one so you look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, guys,
Yeah,
I'm
like I
very
said,
smart.
man,
I'm very knowledgeable. I know my stuff.
well, you know, like I said, I could probably do a live stream just on knots. All right. It's probably not a bad idea. You guys that are interested in this stuff, we need to stick together and maybe we need to start organizing doing something like this. Spring is here. I plan to get out and do some things now. I've got some regular life activities interfering with my YouTube time, but I'll get there and we'll educate the world, man.
Well, I mean, that right there, that just shows me that I need to make sure that I still practice the things that I teach, because I made that video, I think, a couple weeks ago. And when I was doing it easily, I was doing it fast, and now here we are. And I mean, let's say somehow I was at the top of a cliff, I'd be sitting there. Do I put it through this? Do I do this? I'd be screwed.
Right, right. That would suck. I mean, but you'll still be ahead of a lot of people because a lot of people wouldn't even think that that stuff was possible.
Right.
There's a couple of knots I would like to convey to people just like one of them is the best for tying two different types of string together or rope, and it's the best holding knot for that purpose.
Okay.
Then the other one is I use it on almost everything because I know it's never going to give. It's super simple. It's just not going to let me down. It's never let me down. But then there's other knots that I've, kind of invented myself to where like a guy line of a tent. If you've ever spent a couple of days in a tent, you realize sometimes guy lines need retightened. So I tie a loop that I can use as an adjustment on that guy line where I can, loosen it, tighten it, whatever I want to do at a real easy pace, And it's those kind of things I'd like to. I'm going to do it. I'm going to set up some tents and I'll take video of it and do some overnighters in it. Hopefully, like in a real rainstorm or something, because that's where you're going to learn the most about setting up a tent is in a rainstorm.
Right. Yeah, you need to do it. Educate these people.
I have educated a lot of people. I mean, I've taken a lot of people camping, and I've got friends that are no longer here, but their kids are, and I relish the fact that they remember these things and they bring these things up, like the edible medicinal plants, and to them it was like the big nature walk or something when they were a kid. But to actually do retain these things, if you teach people on, on the spot in the field, you teach somebody what that plant looks like, what you can use it for. That's the kind of stuff that'll stick with them. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
really going to come across in a video even that way. I don't think it would even be as good as it's better than any other way probably, but it's still not hands on, you know?
Right. But I mean, at least you're doing something to get the information out there.
Yeah, I used to have big dreams about that. It was in the 80s when I started writing a book on edible and medicinal plants, and I found about 130 of them in our area. And
Okay.
they're fantastic things to know that my mom and others kind of snuck this knowledge into me a little bit at a time when I was a kid. And by the time I got older, I got interested into especially the Native American uses and stuff that were in, or the pioneers and mountain men, the tricks and recipes and stuff that they would use. And I had this grand idea: why couldn't I make a little pocket book with good photos and information to help homeless people? But then I realized, it doesn't take too long before you realize nobody wants to help them. They're putting old men in jail for feeding the homeless, and you get punished for that. They won't let you grow a garden in your front yard. They don't want you self-sufficient.
Right.
The part I never understood is why all the homeless flock to the cities instead of the woods, because the woods is where all your resources are. The city's full of trouble and garbage,
Right.
and it's just as you get older, you start to realize things on a political level. Unfortunately, it's like you might think it's common sense, but the mass majority of the population is going to think you're a nut or that it's wrong to do that. Oh, you can't do that to a tree.
Right.
There's just all kinds of things like that that come into play that get in the way.
Well, hopefully I don't get demonetized for this, but I actually think one of the most useful knots that you should know how to tie is a noose, because of the fact that you can cinch it down and then it's tight on there, but then you can also pull on the other side and loosen it back up. And then if you want, you just take the
Yep.
bottom and pull it, and then it comes right apart, and then you've just got your rope back again.
Yep. That's a good one. That's a good one. Uh, Tar Pity. Yeah, I would recommend this guy. His name's Tom Brown, and this guy is a wilderness tracker. He was raised by his grandfather, a full-blooded Indian in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, and he spent his childhood growing up with him and his buddy under the tutelage of that old Indian wise man. And he has a whole series of books. My favorite probably is Nature Observation and Wilderness Tracking, but he's got books on all kinds of subjects. In fact, I just saw that he made another book I wasn't aware of. I've got to add to my library. But those are really good books and easy to understand, and they have content that makes them enjoyable to read. Whereas most survival or technical or field manuals, they're dry information. All right, it tells you just the basic of what you need to know, and if you do one thing wrong, you could kill yourself, kind of thing. So I always recommend Tom Brown. His books are golden to me.
I'm going to have to try and look him up. I've never heard of him.
He trains special forces, Deltas, the PJs for the air. He trains law enforcement and all kinds of people on tracking, not just wildlife, but human beings as well. Because that's a
Okay.
whole nother realm that people probably don't realize the intricacies of. When it comes to tracking, those old Indians knew things. All right, and when you see in a movie a reference like a guy looking at a bent piece of grass or something, that stuff's real if you know how to do it, if you know what you're looking at,
Right.
or how not to be tracked.
Well, which personally I think that's more valuable than knowing how to track.
See, you're learning already.
But at the same time, if you know how to do one, technically you can figure out how to do the other.
They go together. I wasn't going to stay for long. I just had to get up here and address your questions because you was asking me. I kind of missed the question the first time around, but I got to get some stuff done, guys. But this is all stuff we're going to cover again, man. You guys motivate me. You make me feel like doing this faster than I had planned. You know what I mean?
Well, I can't wait to see you start covering some of this, and I'm going to try to be there as much as I can.
Oh, Tarpitty's ahead of the game. I already got those books. Did you got? Oh, see, I'm already making making a difference. That's good. I like that. I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon somewhere. I'll
And
still
I
be
appreciate you
listening.
coming up here.
I got to get some of this stuff done, but I'll still be listening when I can.
Thank
Peace.
you. Oh, let's see. What time is it? 1:30. Let's see. I've been trying to keep my eye on chat as much as I can. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. Yeah, thank you, Carl, for coming up. I really appreciate that. I always love talking to you. Very wise. I always learn something. I can't wait to see you start doing more stuff and start doing more live streams, start doing more videos where you can teach people all the stuff that you know. I know I'm going to be learning a lot. I'd like to think that I'm somewhat educated, but then I talk to people like you and I realize I don't know shit. Just a reminder to anybody that's hanging out, I do have an open panel here. I guess, in all honesty, I don't actually know how much longer I'm going to be streaming. I was planning on getting off a little bit before 2, and that's right where I'm at here. So, might be getting off here soon, but if somebody wants to hop up real quick and talk, the link to hop up on stream with me is in the description. Feel free to. Open panel, open topic. But, my students learn a lot. Garrett, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Because as far as I'm aware, I'm the youngest person that's in this community. I haven't found anybody younger that does videos, and I haven't found anybody younger even in chat. I'm 21, about to be 22. Okay, so you are the youngest. You're the youngest person I've found so far, but I still have you beat. Still the leader in that challenge, but yeah, I don't know. It sucks, man. I wish there was more people in my age group that were interested in this kind of stuff, but it doesn't seem to be the case, at least, especially not in my area. 58 is not that old. Hell, that's still pretty young, really. A lot of people are still asleep. Well, yeah, the majority of people are still asleep, but I mean, it seems like more people are waking up, though, so that's cool to see. But when you have somebody like myself that's hell, I'm only 18 and I've been awake for a few years now, and then you look at people that are in their 30s and they're still haven't figured it out, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? How did I manage to do this and decipher it and you can't? Thanks for saying so. Hey, and I'm not kidding either. I mean, really, in this day and age, that is not that old. You got to start getting quite a few years on you past that before I'd consider you to be too old. Well, not too old. That didn't sound right, but hopefully you get what I mean. Oh, I would definitely say I've got an old soul. I've always thought that I would have rather grown up in the 70s. And then I learned about some of the shit that happened in the 70s, and I was like, yeah, maybe not. Plus, I do like my technology, so that would be difficult not having that. Oh, stop. I doubt anybody in this chat is old enough to be what I would consider old. At this point, with modern medicine and everything, I would say that you've got to be at least like 75 before I would consider you to be actually old. Because a lot of people in their 50s and 60s are what the people used to be like in their 30s and 40s, just because of how much things have improved. You got to think, people used to only live in their 20s. Like, by the time they were 30, they were usually they were usually considered to be pretty old at 30, way back. But Midwest, my son, were still a ton of young people, and they're starting to really wake up within the older population. Yeah, well, I don't know. I since the whole I don't even know how I want to say it. The whole thing that's going on that's made the world not the same world that we used to have before 2020. Hopefully, everybody understands. I haven't been in school since then, and I've been at home. So, at least as far as I knew before I left school, everybody was still very much so asleep. But I could definitely understand why more people would be waking up now. I mean, I never thought I'd be 40. I was wild and crazy for a while. Now I'm just crazy. Well, I'm not surprised to hear that you're crazy. Most people around in this community are, so. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you're on YouTube, so you can't be that old, Mama Red. I mean, damn. Most old people don't even know what YouTube is still, which I think is crazy. At least the old people in my family, or around my family. They're like, you watch, what's a YouTube video? Really? That's interesting. So, if you don't mind me asking, what tribe do you belong to? Oh, always survive. Shorts popped up in here. You're welcome, man. I'm glad. I'm glad I could help somewhat. Prepper tribe. I want to be part of that. How do I sign up, William? I'm very interested to see. Oh, she said it's the tribes of Grand Round, Oregon. Yeah, that's really cool. I don't. People don't appreciate the old people. God, I cannot speak. People don't appreciate the heritage from all those people, and it's unfortunate the way that they've been treated. And I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair, and I also don't think it's fair what's happening with all the reservations and stuff. I don't know. I'm not educated enough to really speak on that, so I'm gonna shut up. But just look them up on YouTube, Purple Tribe. Wait, that's a real thing? Like, actually? I thought William was just making a joke. Prepper Tribe is a real thing? I'm gonna have to look that up. I can become a junior member. Really? I've never heard of that before. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go check them out. People have like junior detectives and juniors, like all the kids that go up to the police and they get like their little sticker badges. I'm just gonna get one of those same little sticker badges that says I'm part of the prepper tribe, a junior cadet in the prepper tribe. Can somebody post that link for me, please? And I'll go check it out once I end here. Thank you, Indy. All right, well, oh, Monty's still lurking around. Good to see you. All right, well, I wanted to end a little bit before 2. I need to go make some food. I haven't had lunch yet. And I do appreciate everybody hanging out. This is a little bit of a uh, prepper focused live stream, I guess. So thank you to everybody that stuck around, hung out for that. Everybody that gave me some advice. Carl, thank you for coming up and talk to me. Hopefully you're still listening. Hopefully you see this. But everybody in chat, I appreciate you all. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. And thank you guys for hanging out one more time.